Hi, we are designing a headlamp circuit consisting of a 5-pin relay, headlamp, 12-volt battery, and assorted wires and connections. The red wires must be used on circuits with 10 volts and more. The black wires are used at ground and 600 millivolts or less, and the yellow wires are used on the low amp flow. The circuit has to be set up that the relay, when it's de-energized, is on the low beam light, and when it's energized, it's on the high.
Alright, today we're doing a simple headlight circuit setup here. These are all the tools that we're going to need to do that. We have a good 12-volt certified battery from Canadian Tire. We've got a headlight. We have all our wire here. We've already soldered our connectors on. We'll show you that later in the video. We have a fuse, circuit breaker fuse, 5-pin relay, a switch. Be careful with the switch. I've shocked myself a few times. And these are the tools. We're going to need a digital multimeter, wire strippers, wire cutters, and a soldering kit.
Alright, so one of the first things you want to do in doing the circuit is you want to test your battery to make sure it's working. We've got about 12.4 volts. That's a good voltage to have. And then you want to test your light to make sure it's working. It is. So now that you know that you have working components, you can go ahead and start building your circuit.
All connection to the relay, and the positive wire goes to the relay 30, pin number 30, and another positive wire that is low amps wire gauge, it goes to 86. It's right here, and the negative, we put a switch on the negative side, ground side, so one ground side goes to 85, pin number 85, which is here, and yeah, that's the thing. And he's gonna show the other half of the circuit. So here you go.
Okay, so the rest of the circuit we have to connect to the headlight. So we have our low beam, which is going to be 87A, 87A, which is normally closed with no power going to the relay. And then we have our 87, which is going to go to the high beam. When the relay is energized, that will turn on. We have our ground connection for the light. And power. Headlight works both high and low.
Make sure that when you're soldering, you don't get the wire too hot and burn it, and don't get solder inside the insulation.
This video is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Always fresh, always Tim Hortons.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to check the amperage in our circuit when we have the headlamp on low beam and high beam. So this is the load side of the circuit. So when we hook up the terminal here to the other side, we'll get a reading. So on low beam, we're looking at around 2.5, 2.3 amps. And if we switch it to high beam, we're getting around 5 amps. So there's the load side. Ready? Okay, so now we're going to check the amperage in our control side of the circuit. So for this, we had to switch the digital multimeter around a little bit so it can read milliamps, because this is going to be a low amperage circuit. So this is what you're going to read with this relay de-energized. So as you can see, with the relay de-energized, we're not getting any current flow. But if you would energize it, we're getting about 131 milliamps when it's energized. So there you go.